an incredible February so far. And I think, isn't it the last 5 games have got a third of our points from? So not too shabby recently.
Yeah, really good win against Leeds. We were a bit nervy, wasn't we, in the previews of it last week? I think we all kind of knew we'd probably sit back and Leeds would probably be the team that attack more. But in saying that, I was quite happy with the way we went with it. We played pretty much the team that finished off in the second half against Southampton in that win. And we actually went at them. Yes, we stayed solid defensively too. It was quite a tight, edgy game, but I think it says a lot when your man of the match is the goalkeeper, Rui Patricio. So we did ride our luck a bit, but overall, I'm happy that we won. And I think we kind of deserved it, although I think Leeds fans have said otherwise.
Rui Patricio, Dendonka, Cody, Say, Semedo, Neves, Matinho, Johnny, Neto, Jose, and Traore. Bayliss, a better game all round, wasn't it? It wasn't as easy as I think we were expecting it to be. It was still pretty hard fought. And like Harry said, Rui played his part.
No, I thought we were very good, considering we were playing one of the best teams in world football, according to all journalists across the spectrum.
The greatest manager ever.
I thought we were pretty good. The only sort of moan I've got is that we did look a bit unsteady in the middle with the balls they put in. Bolly back would have probably shored it up a little bit more. Couple got over the top a little bit too easily, but all in all, really strong performance. I thought we came at them. Probably should have scored more. I mean, looking at the chances we had, it should have really been a game like a 2-2 or a 2-1 Wolves or something like that. It wasn't really a 1-0 game, was it, when you look at it? I think Semedo should have buried his chance, really, but he's not a striker, so you let him off. Yeah, decent result.
Jack, 3 points in the best promoted team derby, double over Leeds. Actually, I saw a stat the other day. I was trying to remember exactly what it was, but I think it's only 2 managers have ever done the double over Bielsa, and Nuno is now one of them, because I believe, would it be Leonardo maybe for PSG over his Marseille side in sort of 2015. So not a bad accolade, and to be honest, not something that happens very often.
No, well, I think there'll be a few more before the end of the season when the reverse fixtures come round. Probably just the way it's fallen helped that. But I echo the sentiments. I was really pleased with the way it went. I like the fact that we seem to adopt a shoot on sight policy.
Yeah,
arguably a little bit too. Yeah, maybe it was Pedro Neto's mum who's giving him a bit of earache about it. But I like that, and I think we've said in the past, a lot of the times Wolves fans don't really get arsey if you have a shot and have a go. And I think, Neto was on a shoot on sight policy, arguably too much, because he should have squared it to Willian at one point when he was clear in the middle. He just should have given the heads up. But I was happy with it, to be honest, happy with the way we performed. We've had 2 clean sheets against Leeds, who you can say what you want. They are a team that you can score 5 against, but also letting 3 in the process or whatever. So there's always goals, and we kept them out twice. So I think we need to be proud of that, and we haven't got sucked into the game they want to play. We've tried both occasions. We've tried to be defensively tight, slow the game down as much as possible, and it works. But I mean, granted, they did create chances. We got a bit lucky on a few occasions. Really, that Rafinha kept putting balls into the box, and every time it just looked so dangerous. They're considering themselves unlucky with the goal itself as well. Really, I know Traore just blasted it, and we got a great slice of fortune there. And they're all moaning about VAR on Twitter. So we rode our luck. It was one of those games that probably could have gone to be 1-0 either way, and you couldn't have had many arguments. But overall, I'm happy with the way we approached it. The game plan worked again, and I'm just happy that we seem to be hitting that little bit of form again.
Mm.
Yeah, the thing I found really weird, did either of you or any of you watch the Southampton Leeds game a couple of days ago?
No.
They absolutely cruised them.
Well,
I just don't get it. Like, we've played Southampton and Leeds in quick succession, and I just don't understand how Leeds went and just absolutely cruised past Southampton. Because Southampton gave us a really good game.
This is quite weird, actually, because I watched the first half of that game and it was 0-0, and I thought Southampton were the better team. To be honest, I was quite shocked. I think they would be quite unlucky to have not scored in the first half, particularly at that. And I was quite shocked when I checked the score later. I was like, "What? Leeds 3-0? Where's that come from?" So I don't know if you watched what happened in the second half, but I was quite surprised at that scoreline.
What did you think of? You just come back to me when you mentioned the offside, Jack. Like, Bamford's outrage after the game about VAR. I think if that had happened against
anyway,
us, yeah, exactly. That's the argument. I agree with. Like, he was moaning, but even if VAR didn't exist, he would have been offside anyway. So.
The worst bit about the whole thing is how much it was moaned about by the pundits.
Yeah,
they gave so much time and attention to the VAR decision, of which we've had loads of stinkers like that. It's just
it was
like Leeds. I
don't get how. I just don't get why they're all so obsessed with Leeds.
It was a really great finish by Bamford, but that was one of those where I watched it in real time, and immediately I was like, "He's offside." Yeah, I'm sure he's offside. I'm sure they're going to keep the flag down just to see what happens, but I'm pretty sure he's offside. Then the linesman flags, which reassures that view. And the only time I start to doubt myself is when I see the VAR freeze frame. It's one of those where I think the angle you're looking at VAR makes it look less offside, or makes it look like what's what I'm trying to say? Makes it look closer than it actually was. And when I was watching it in real time and with the better angles and with the sky angles, there was no doubt in my mind it was offside watching it like that.
I thought that.
And so I think it was the right decision. It was backed up by VAR, but maybe the VAR freeze frames are making it look closer than it actually was. But Bamford to go out and have a whinge on Twitter about that was just a bit silly when there's been. I mean, him himself is probably just a bit aggrieved because he had that other one which was ridiculous earlier in the season where they said part of half his arm was offside.
He was pointing.
So he's probably got a bit of an agenda against it, like a lot of football clubs and football fans have. But
he's preaching to the choir converted, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really? No one. Harry, Marcel is not made out of twiglets. He's made out of wet twiglets.
Off and on.
What's going on there?
I don't know. When he come on, didn't he? Then he went back off at 8 Norrie, but
22 minutes he lasted.
Yeah, well, we know what's going on, don't we? He's injury prone, unfortunately. But it's just, obviously, we're so happy Johnny's back, but he's still coming off a bit earlier just because of his ACL injury. I just want to, because we have really, well, particularly Bayliss. I'm not just trying to rub it in here, Bayliss, but honestly, the best outfield player for me on the night, obviously Rui was man of the match, but Semedo, I think we've got to praise him because we have hammered him a lot. Yeah, he should have scored his chance, I agree, but at least he's getting in the positions. He had two.
I thought Traore was better though. I did think Traore was
I think Semedo was outfield player, our best player.
Isn't it great how we have a range of opinions?
But Traore was great. The way he cut in and that strike, if that goes barring in, we're talking about goal of the season, aren't we? The way he ran, you know.
If Semedo had slotted his chance, I'd have happily agreed with you and said, yeah, man of the match. But I just think on the whole, and how he changed the game and how the game progressed, it was changed by Traore and what he did. And I know he comes under a lot of stick as well.
I think Semedo is so much better with Neto in front of him as well. I think with Traore being on the left out the way, because Traore did just keep getting in Semedo's way when he was attacking. So that's worked well. And hopefully that can continue now and we don't have to keep slating Semedo every week.
The other thing is, though, you can't just ignore that a couple of decent games then settle.
Here we go. Look, he has to kick it in, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, I'm saying he played well.
To say he was good.
I have said he played really well. I've said he played well for a number of games now. I think I gave him 8 out of 10 for Southampton. That's 2
out of 10 for Southampton.
It's about as high as I go. So
just to correct my claim earlier, it was Montpellier and Paris Saint-Germain that defeated his Marseille side home and away, Bielsa, in 14-15. So there you go. I got half of that correct.
Was your heart in your mouth when Costa brought the ball down at the 94th?
100%.
I just come back to me that as I was like,
and
he should have scored that.
He should have.
That was actually really bad defending by Dendoncker. That was. We need to single that out because there's no way. But the height difference between Dendoncker and Costa, how has he managed to bring that ball down in the box when it said long ball lumped up to him? That was, that could have been a game-costing mistake. If Semedo had done that, Bayliss would have given him a 2 out of 10 and written him off.
We're still going about it now.
I would have also given Dendoncker a rollicking if it had gone in the top corner.
Good save from Patricio, thankfully.
Got away.
Straight at him, to be fair. We got away one there.
Finish,
the headlines were written.
The header was a poor header, really, when you think about it. Free header in the middle and heads it straight at the keeper's hands.
Which one's that?
The best save he did was one low down to his right. That was a tremendous save and get up to smother it again.
Yeah, that was a good little spell from him.
Obviously, the big question that's on everyone's lips, Harry, is Europe's back on, isn't it?
I'll be honest.
European
After the game, I was buzzing. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was looking at the fixtures. Like, we beat Newcastle, we beat Villa. I didn't realise we got Man City in between those. But you do look at it. But we're so fickle, aren't we, football fans? 3 weeks ago, we were looking over our shoulders, thinking, "Oh my god, are Fulham going to catch us?" I think we've got to keep our feet on the ground a little bit. I know we're only a few points off this time last year, but It's a bit different. It feels different. It feels different, though. I know, like, we were better last year, even with being in the Europa League. But I think we'll finish mid-table. But you never know. If we do go on a mad run, stranger things have happened. But I just don't want to get too carried away because we look silly when we all start moaning again in a few weeks.
Do you remember at the end of last season when we were just a couple of episodes from the end of the season and we were talking about top 4? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then finished 7th.
Yeah.
We know who the man of the match is, and I think we have a clean sweep of Rui Patricio. Although, Dan, did you say
Traore?
Outfield player Traore, but
Outfield,
Patricio
right.
definitely gets it for that. Although I don't like giving goalkeepers man of the match. It's their job.
Well, come on. He kept us in that
Would you
game,
give it to a
man.
striker?
Didn't he make the most saves?
Scoring goals is his job.
He was brilliant.
There was a stat which I'm going to butcher because I saw it like a week ago. He made the most saves for like a walk since Hanneman. Remember? I think it was 7 saves in a Premier League game.
I think you're right.
Against
The record
Everton,
before him.
Hanneman.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Can I just pick you up on that point, Dan? On what basis do you award man of the match?
He's got to be man. It's his
joking.
job. He's like a Roy Keane comment.
I think for a keeper to get it,
You
they've
weren't
got to pull off some worldies rather than just some routine saves. And I think 2 of the ones he did were proper worldies. So that's why.
Good hockey player as well.
Long arms, reachable.
Yes.